Morning, good evening, it's the King. And today we want to shout out all the individuals who thought it was funny to steal the King's bike. He had his bike put up, and the people know he putting race stations airdrops in. He putting his stations airdrops in if you don't mind. And some days he can see it, some days he can't. And the thing is, he come up on something. Stop! Can't say he come up on a ride, but that really didn't mean he didn't want to ride his bike. He want to shout out any individual who happened to stole his bike as he was talking about city code. Shout out to Steve Gregg Memorial Path, if you don't mind. The Restasis eye drops is a very serious drop. It's not meant to be used for a lifetime, but somehow, some way, some shape or another, the King, he say he hit with this thing called Restasis eye drops, and he gotta take them, people. And if you don't mind, we got it in one eye, and one eye we don't. We can see the difference. Stop! And we can see all the money we missing. See, the King say he don't care. He don't care about that. He gonna go blind, and God say we all gonna go blind when we can't see. When we gotta go back to that dirt, it's gonna hurt because it's a hell of a thing. And the King say he also working on 52 lawsuits, but we gonna get a Sunday worship today with the King. He putting his drops in today, and he want to shout out the Disability Determination Bureau. And the United States of America finally came to his rescue. He said he was talking about code. It's 10,000 interchangeable codes we must keep up with if we got a city, a state, tribal, native, land, federal, state government funds involved. And the thing is, who else put these Restasis eye drops here? The thing is, King say he come down here about 3-4 years ago telling people, no, we put photo enforced business district coding, PAR coding, all type of new coding. We wouldn't be broke. We wouldn't be the brokest city in the state of Wisconsin and the United States of America. But a lot of humans, they just didn't understand what code was all about. And if you don't mind, the King say he want to put his drops in, but he don't want to get caught in traffic. So we want to let you know the park closed at 10, but do we got photo enforced artificial intelligence coding at the park? And what if somebody want to drink beer without a permit? Who gonna catch them? The King, he say who gonna catch these creeps if they want to creep? Just like these creeps stole the King's bike, knowing he putting eye drops in for the rest of his life. And some days he can see it, some days he can not. And he grew up with these people. These fake thugs, these fake assassinators. And shout out to all the, fake assassinators who tried to assassinate old King, the Bully King, Scare King. And shout out to those who may have the possibility. Shout out to lays. We got a lot of silly lays going on around here, frivolous sex, if you will. But today we want to focus on Restasis eye drops, if you will. And the beauty of it. And the curse of it. The King say, for the rest of his life, he got to put Restasis eye drops in. He was attacked viciously, without provocation, if you will, on 9/16/2023. And he got it in on the right eye. The left eye kind of struggling. We want to put it in for the sake of clarity, let you know what I got to do so I can be able to see. And Jesus now, he healed the blind man as well. Let's get to the book of John, chapter 9, verses 35-41. The Pharisees was in the conversation with Jesus, communicating whether or not they could see. And the King said he in a conversation with the government. We talking government shutdown. We talking presidential security, artificial intelligently based. We talking artificial intelligent coding systems. We talking new coding systems, new policies, new funding, new grants that can be proposed. We talking dollars. And if it don't make sense to you, and if you've never put a lawsuit in, and you've never been privileged the opportunity to present yourself to the government through some type of communication, and this show might not be for you. You might not be educated enough to understand what's really going on in the land right now as we speak on subject matter of traffic enforcement, public safety under the First Amendment. And the king say he's a YouTube auditor. And he has the right to audit the government because government say they wanted to see what a private citizen could do versus what the government employees doing, and who gonna make the most sense when it come to generating funds to uplift the fallen humanity, because we got so many faith-based workers and so many government workers and so many 501c3 businesses and so many sole proprietorships, so many LLCs, so many corporations, so many faith-based operandi, but nobody out here dialoguing with government with eye drops they got to put in for the rest of their life, if you don't mind, and got caught up in a situation where they was asked on the most beautiful, wonderful occasion. Occasion could have been a situation where a relationship could confine you and make you whole. You know, sometimes God sends you somebody that can make you whole, but you already whole, and with him you already whole, but he make you evenly yoked. And God say find somebody that's evenly yoked, or you gonna travel through the wilderness in the Garden of Eden, the Garden of Sneeden, and any land you travel, confused about who your lover should be and who your lover should not be, and why people hurting you, and why people not living up to the expectations that you say you might have for them if y'all get entangled in some type of relationship, a situationship, a friendship, something like wanting to be with somebody for the rest of your life. The king. And if you don't understand what's going on, we will. It's the king. You know, king say he going to church, every day, Every week he got something new. He poor, but he know how to make something out of nothing. And today, he say he don't believe no human with a human tongue in the city of Beloit, in the city of Janesville, in the city of Madison, in the city of Milton, in the city of Middleton, in the Rock County region, Dane County region, any other region in the Wisconsin districts, where they get to talk to government and write for grants and proposals and for new coding systems, has got on the phone and communicated with government to the likes of the things the king do. He say he's a non-accredited lawyer. He say, he was a Michael Jordan in the courtroom, but the people thought he was playing. And when he didn't play, the people, they took a not liking to it. And a not liking led to bleach and burn chemicals being thrown in his eye. And he got to put the Restasis eye drops in for the rest of his life. If you don't mind, that's just what he got to do. But God say he don't care about that. Now, how can you uplift the fallen humanity, those who might be going against you, those who might want to ride with you, and those who in the middle about it? Because we got a society now that's going off reputation. And God said he could give you a new reputation. But the humans, they got these hidden kingdoms and these cliques and these reputations. And King say he don't care about nobody hanging out with him. No, all he need is God. God is best friend. He the only friend I got. And a lot of true Christians, they say, well, I want to repent. I want to accept the free gift of salvation. I want it. I need it. And God say, do you really want it? He say, 2 Timothy, 2nd chapter, verse 5. We come out the King James version, New Living Translation version, the ESL version. We got anywhere, and we got King's version. It's coming soon. He stopped. He think he hit the jackpot with this thing called presidential coding. You know, the government, they completely shutting down. And Trump, he going to work every day. No doing speaking engagements, and they might not have artificial intelligence coding systems for security under the First Amendment. And guilt versus cons fight, now 658 Fed 3rd 82 and 83, allows a human, a private citizen, a social media influencer, to dialogue with government about these affairs if it uplifts the fall of humanity. And since JFK assassination, we want to know if the government has implemented new constitutional articles, bills, artifacts, amendments, bylaws, traditional laws, acts, customary acts, and facts. Because sociology now, when we study humans, see, stop! You know, God say study my humans. You want to be a part of my kingdom? I'll study the humans. You know, we got good ones, we got bad ones, and we got those that's really trying to walk this thing out. The king say, no, he was on the road to recovery, trying to become a true Christian. No, he was on the road to recovery. And God said, you got to run your race alone. Can't nobody help you run your race. See, your race is your strengths and all your weaknesses. And only you and God can consult about it, but a lot of humans, stop! Damn it, they tell their whole life. And some people's life just ain't that interesting. But King say his life might be a little bit more interesting than your life it did. You know, the people just want some gossip to throw about, you know, and humans say, you know, let's talk about it, talk. And we've been doing a lot of talking about government shutdown and the reason it shut down and why it shut down. And who are these key players in government that got the government shut down? And why they going against Trump? And what it is about Trump they don't like. Now, we want to do one thing for government employees right now. You know, the king say he want to clarify what a miracle is. You know, a miracle was when the people threw the bleach with the burn chemicals. It was so strong it burned his leg. No, he lost his sight. It was a hell of a situation. And the thing is, he prayed to God about it right away. God, give me back sight. We in a love affair with the true Christian, the fake ones, and those in the middle. You know, the ones that laugh at Jesus. All his followers. You know, them goofies. And King say he love it when they come like that because he come like this. Shout out to Rich Station Side Drive. It's only one king. Now, a lot of rookies want to be king. You know, they heard his vocabulary. You know, they started to steal a few lexicons from the king. And a lexicon is a combination of words, but God say one body, many members. We all play a unique role. And we all serve a profound purpose as missionaries. Once we accept the free gift of salvation and step out in the mission. Now we in it now. I want to be in it. We all in it. We in it. We doing our thing. Shout out to the station. And shout out to God. And shout out to miracles. And let's talk about it. You know, if we had that photo enforced artificial intelligence coding right at the location where the culprit, the perpetrator, and the fake assassinator. Yeah, he's a fake assassinator. You know, stop! Me and Trump having a ball about this fake assassinator. And the thing is, this fake assassinator has created a situation where a miracle was seen by the public, but they didn't want to accept it. No, Trump, fully speaking, engaging with the public. He fully on his mission. God said, you know, we should rewrite the Constitution. We should do this. We should do that. You know, I know about microeconomics. I know about macroeconomics. I know money. And King said he loved money. And Trump loved money. And the thing is, King say he 52 lawsuits in it. And he's still alive. And the humans, they just can't accept this miracle. Trump was in a situation where a fake assassinator tried to take him out. And the photo enforced coding system at the location, if it was there, now stop! It had to be there. And the stations had to be here for me. It was no hope for me. You know, my eyes dry, they burning, they peeling, and the king say he's strong, but, you know, God, you know, stop, let's get to Genesis 32. You know, Jacob wrestled with God. And the thing is, you know, if we had that photo enforced coding system there, see, no, we could have caught the fake assassinator even before he tried to pull the trigger. But we don't. And we didn't. And it's a government shutdown. Let's talk about restasis. Thank you, Lord. And the restasis, like, give me sight. But it's a temporary thing. And God say, you only gonna walk the earth for a temporary time frame. You know, I can take you out at any time, but a lot of humans say they don't believe in God. It's just sick. And then we see a miracle. We can watch it on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Google, any social media feed. We can watch this thing. Some fake assassinator tried to take out our president. And no government employee prayed for Trump that he lived through the miracle. No government employee seems to have compassion for this assassination attempt. And since the assassination on JFK, did the government rewrite coding for artificial intelligence? And we got government employees and judges now. Stop! Delegating about these contracts under artificial intelligence all day in courtrooms and different states. And if we go school to school, we don't have nothing like that in Beloit. Ain't no displays out. And King say he got one hell of a stay today. He want to shout it out. Shout out to stop rookies. Shout out to Trump. No, he lived through that fake assassinator. And shout out to government who ride with Trump. No, not the ones that's not. We want to shout out Queen. It's my queen right here. Queen Money Green G-String. That's her name. And for sure, we just gonna call her Green G-String. And that's the king new ride. It's the king new ride, rookies. And how much it costs? $2. No, King said it costs $2. Because if we think about it, you know, grass, it's gonna outlive money. And God say, memories over money. But the human see, with human tongues and small human minds, never delegated about 1,000 trillion, 100 gazillion contract. They sit there and call the police on the king, say he's kicking up ruckus in the community because he talking about the codes. That's not right. Let's look at the pole. It's kind of dusty, musty, and crusty. It's the king. He say he come to take it over. Because see, you know, the humans, and look at all this money we miss. If you don't mind. No, king say, look at all this money we miss. No cameras. Legitimate business district. And shout out to Diane Hendricks. Why the people been wasting her money? King say the people been wasting our money. Not telling her, hold on, stop it. Government already got this thing coded where we can do so many artificial intelligence coding, create so many new bills and so many new things that money will never be a problem forever. And we already know it ain't no problem forever for her, but could she do it forever? For somebody else? And Trump, he lived through the miracle. You know, the fake assassinator, he tried him. And all these government employees seem to be talking about they want to shut Trump down. He's on the witch hunt. He's this. And the fake assassinators, they keep throwing dirt. And here the king, he say, hold on, stop. No more dirt. We need to talk money. And King say, when we get to talking about money and educational things, see, and the beauty of being approached by a cop, no, for a date. No, this has robbed the king his imagination. He say he had to talk about it. Shout out to Trump. No, shout out to Trump. And shout out to all the government employees who never, prayed for Trump. Faith-based people who never paid for Trump. Got on the phone, told the people, you know what? It's a situation to, call the government to have a emergency meeting, if you will, because the president was in a situation where a fake assassinator tried to take him out, and we still might be in week day 10 of shutdown. Let's lock this thing in. Let's see all this money we missing on traffic, so Trump can understand what really happened in the land. It's the king. He confused. He say so many codes can be updated and policies can be updated, but the people continue to. No, something like when Judas betrayed Jesus. No, he said, I come to do my father's work. And King said he come to do civil rights activist work. No, attorney work. Social media influencer work. Making a more competent government and competent community work. Because we got a lot of people that committed crimes and they don't know no consequence. They can't even read and write. I mean, we got a lot of things that we could do. We need experimental drug houses. We need new counseling. We need funding for everything, Trump. We got caught in a situation where the humans, with human tongues, they forgot who God was. And they forgot how good he was. And we want to thank God for waking me up, arousing my senses, breathing through my nostrils, and hindering all sidetrack that could ever be sidetracked to make me deviate from his word today, as we once again declare and decree. Psalms 149:5 is today's lesson. Let the saints in heaven be joyful on their beds, because we got some true Christians. All skin colors now. It just ain't, stop! It just ain't the weak guys with the tight suits. We got all kind of Christians. Now we got Christians like this. They come, they dress in all funny and stuff. They might be rich, they might be broke, but they really believe in God, See, and it's the faith of the broke man that makes him a treasure to the rich man. See, the rich man, they came up off the sacrifice of some other man who struggled and overcome poverty because they had spiritual gifts and they had talents and abilities that exceeded the other humans. But some of us with good talent, we just don't know how to contemplate that frame, meditate on the wonders of God, and execute our talents when it's time to discipline and our endeavor. And our endeavor is discipline, faith. Jesus said, if you want to come to the throne of grace, approach it with reverence and walk out in faith and trembling, because you never know how I'm gonna come. I might make you a billionaire, and I might turn you from a billionaire to a bomb. Depends on your future choices, and your present choices depend on your future happiness. But what is eternal happiness is you don't got God in your life. And that's the thing. No, King said he's been with 761 women, and he's still unhappy. He got a few dollars, and he's still unhappy. And he say, God said. Well, won't you walk over there to the Mercy Hill Church and see what type of treasures I got for you over there. And the king say, he feeling good, but Stacy is working, but he say he the God because the strangers at the gate been not being friendly. And God say Christianity is a faith where I call different races, and we speak in 10,000 interchangeable tongues to come together under one common accord. And the accord is bringing those closer to me in the spiritual, the spiritual realm, not just the physical, because too many people caught in the physical and not the spiritual. And let's focus on God. And if we get back to the story of the blind man, see, if we get back there one time. No, we got to get back there one time. If we could get back there one time, in the mighty name of Jesus. If we could get back there one time. Jesus Christ, and a lot of people say they don't believe it because man worked with it. And we want to understand what that means. No, King say he on YouTube right now saying, he believe in God. He got tested, and a true Christian, we consider the joy when we tested. James, the book of James. It teaches us, gives us keys. And King say he got a key in his head, but a lot of people don't understand all the keys that's left in the Bible because Jesus said he wasn't going to tell all humans his business. But they can be a part of the kingdom if they want to come and join. If they really want to step out and work for the public. And King say he working for the public. He's speaking on the government shutdown. Is it still in existence? And did the government employees get together, Democrats, Republicans, Independents, anybody who has a say in government, and just had a one meal and let the pastor speak for Trump? As we know, it was a miracle that he lived through assassination by a fake assassinator. And we know it was a miracle that the king lived through a bleach and a burn attack and a sucker punch by a fake assassinator. And we want to know if anybody else could have lived through that. And was God behind it? See, that's the thing. See, spiritually, we don't know what and why the humans even did the things they did to Trump. Try to do it. Was it he was in their way? New policies he was coming up with was too strict. They knew things was about to change in their community for the greater good of the community. They just did not want the community to change. What was it to make the fake assassinator even go through with it. Let's shout out Stacy. Let's shout out Stacy. And let's shout out all the doctors, all the scientists, all the humans who was inspired by the Holy Spirit and come up with this thing called Restasis, because without Restasis, King say right now he wouldn't be able to talk to you today. Let's shout out Restasis. And let's shout out Baby Referee. No, because had he never got approached by this beautiful gospel singer. See, he never had a gospel singer. No, God said, it's all you missing is a gospel singer, boy. Because no, King say he never had a gospel singer. And he was just fantasizing, you know, at nighttime before bed. They shout out Restasis. And the thing is, you know, stop! And the thing is, you know, she was so beautiful and so gifted, spiritually. Now, it wasn't a physical. Stop! We know it wasn't a physical. King said all he wanted to do was listen to the gospel. And he got approached by a gospel singer. And the cop. And it just rocked his imagination because he said, God can't be this good. And if we correlate that to what happened to our president when he was out campaigning to become the president again, and the fake assassinator, see, he tried to take my president out. This fake assassinator. And the thing is, you know, if the government would have had instituted new coding, artificial intelligence, let's see if we can see a car go by so we can prop it. Stop, rookie. We want to prop this thing just right. If the government had somebody working the camera and they had seen somebody setting up their stuff. You know how you got to take the top off the Restasis? You know, and they setting up their whole assassination kit. You know, fake assassinator, he set up the whole kit, rookies, and he got to put the whole stand together. Now, hold on. You on my defense. You put my life in your hand. You getting paid money for this. I'm supposed to be your president. And this fake assassinator, you see. How you even get that close to me? And that's the thing Trump trying to figure out. As we try to figure out, did the people believe it was a miracle? Or it was just a coincidence? And see, that's the thing. That's where the disconnect comes in. You know, some people got the spirit, some people can interpret the word, and some, they cannot, they fake. They pretended. And God said, and Edgar Allan Poe, no copyright claim to it, no imitation, it's ignorance. And envy is suicide. No, Edgar Allan Poe, he said that. No, envy is ignorance, and jealousy is suicide. And we got a lot of people with a jealous spirit. When the king say he got approached by a cop, the people lost it. Boy, you tell him. Oh, my God. And let's get to it. Because the king say, he was a lawyer. Now, they trained him in prison. Now, he kept throwing his whole life away. He in prison helping the people like, he the best lawyer in the world. He worse than Johnny Cochran. No copyright claim to Johnny, and rest in peace, Johnny Cochran. But King say he more clever than Johnny. And it's under other grounds that we also want to lock you in on 24 CV. 865 JDP, 7th Circuit Court of Appeal, case number 24-33-23. 7th Circuit Court of Appeals, case number 24-28-85. 7th Circuit Court of Appeal, case number 24-29-22. 7th Circuit Court of Appeal, case number 24-29-24. All those are currently open. And the king say he sued the government for thousands, trillions, hundreds of millions of dollars because, if our workers, if our workers would have had educated the public on these things, we would not be in this situation right now where we got king in an unprecedented territory. No, he's speaking on what he believes is a legit government interest. And he say, if we don't get President Trump artificial intelligence, photo enforced speaking engagement security codes, and rewrite that Constitution, we might have another fake assassinator. And the defense already proved it could not. It was incompetent. It let the president down. No, King say he ain't have his back. The security team did not have the president's back. And this hurt King. Now, president ended up with an injury. But he didn't have to end up with no injury. We so caught up in politics, you see, that we forgot it was a treasure chest under traffic enforcement, new artificial intelligence coding. Now, Elon Musk already took us to the moon. He been out of space. But if we going out of space, shouldn't we look down at the ground first? Stop, rookie. If we've been out of space and we got all this technology and money and resources to go out of space to the moon on these type of declarations, should we have spent a few more dollars for the president so when he come and speak about his agenda, he don't have to worry about whether or not his life is in danger? Would you like to work under that tribulation? And the king say he got to do it every day. Like he stole his bike. Now the doctors told him, you got to get your heart back strong, king. Don't matter how much money you got. And if you want to continue to engage in all this lust, no eating all that plasma for them women. And king say he don't like no boys. He don't want no boy butt. But somehow, some shape or another, rip ass and his bodies, you see, say king like the bamboo, and it's called boy booty. And king say he don't want no boy booty. It's only one woman on his mind, for wife material. No, God always give you sardines and tuna, chicken. Now he give you a variety of meat. And king say he after one kind. No, he tracing clean blood. No, we got a lot of women out here that would do anything and everything to entertain themselves. And it's through the entertaining themselves. They lacking the discipline they need to show when they get a man that could be a leader, see. All they got to do is take a man and cuddle him. No, change his diaper. They might be prominent. And it's a situation here where we got a situation where it's a lot of prominent women with money. Get up and go to work every day, and then we got a lot of human that's not so prominent. They poor. Or they disabled like the king. And they can't work. And they need a good woman. And when a good woman came, the humans interfered. No, they try to take out God. And King say, you can't take out God because I know God. And I know baby referee. And she believe in God. And they try to turn baby referee against the king. And the king said he could have made baby referee rich. And we could have been a new country talking about code. And we could have been doing fundraisers for the president, other international presidents. As we implement these new codes, and King say all he had to do was be a confidential spokesman. No, let baby referee and them get up there and clean it up for me. But I'm a thug, baby. And I come from poverty. But I believe in God, though. And I predicted things that other humans didn't. You see, we got a lot of chit-chatter, a lot of fake Christianity around here, King say he don't like. No, my people, Pope, they come to the door, they rich, they giving up their tithing every week, and the people ain't taught them nothing about kingdom economics. What is kingdom economics? Well, kingdom economics gonna make sure that when you walk through this door, you and your family, if you wanna be a millionaire, you can be a millionaire. You wanna be a billionaire, I can teach you how to be a billionaire. But you got to go to school. You got to hit them books. And we got a lot of kids that don't like school no more because they say hanging out on the street is way more fun than school. And school can never give them the level of money that they can admit they make when they go against God's will for their life. No, Matthew 6, verse 33. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all things shall be added unto you according to his will and purpose for your life, based on your spiritual gifts, and based on your strengths and weaknesses, and based on your provocation threshold, and based on your ability to elevate beyond any demonic sign tracking the humans might throw at you. Now today we talking code, and today we talking about presidential code. And King say he want to get a fundraiser going with all the humans for the love of Trump. We can make this thing right. Good night.